Okay, so there are three things that I absolutely love about Pensacola, and two, not so much. So let's get right into it. Now, believe it or not, number three may surprise you. So, the number three thing that I love about living in Pensacola is that Pensacola has a mall. Yes, that's right, a mall. Now, if you're not from the South, you may not understand me, but MALL, mall. Um, the reason for this is I grew up when the mall was the place to be. That's where you went. You went with your friends, you went with your family, and the town I grew up in, we didn't have a mall. It was about 45 minutes to an hour away. So when we went to the mall, it was a special event. And it's kind of still the same thing for me today. I don't just randomly go to the mall. I usually go if I'm looking for specific things, but our mall here in Pensacola, Cordova Mall, has a pretty good selection of stores. And again, it's right in Pensacola. It doesn't take me an hour to get there. So I love the fact that we have a mall. It just makes life easy for me. Now, the number two thing that I like about living in Pensacola, or that I love about living in Pensacola, is the amazing art scene. We have arts from pottery all the way to theater, and we even have some groups here who make independent films. So, Pensacola really is a treasure trove for the arts community. You definitely want to check some of that out if you're in our area to tour it, or you're thinking about buying, or you're just here on a vacation. But we have so many things downtown, from art galleries, studios. There's our local community theater, Pensacola Little Theater, which is near and dear to my heart. I'm an avid theater person and I'm very involved in our local theater. But we also have our local colleges, and they both have theater programs and they both put on shows, very good shows, I might add. And then we have some independent theater groups. We also have lots of art studios, from paintings, stenciling, um, pencil drawings. I'm trying to think of what the word is you call that. But we also have artists who do clay and who do sculptures and things like that. So there are all types of artists here. You can find them downtown at our weekend markets. You can find them at some of our local galleries. There's several on Pensacola, on Palafox, rather, on Palafox Street. So check those out when you're here too. Now, the number one thing, now, this probably won't surprise you, but the reason may. So, the number one thing I love about living in Pensacola is that the beach is an island and it is separated from where we live and work. What does that mean? Well, for me, I grew up in South Carolina. So Myrtle Beach was where I vacationed. So I loved the beach. Now, the East Coast beaches are very different than our beaches here along the Gulf. When I first came to Pensacola and I went down to the beach, I was amazed at just the beauty of the water and the sugary white sand. But that's not the main reason I love it. I love it because it is over on an island. We are over here on the mainland. And when traffic is heavy and it's the middle of summer and there's a Blue Angels show, I don't have to get stuck in that traffic unless I'm showing a property on the beach. But that's the reason I love our beach and why I love the beach here in Pensacola, is because it's there when you want it, but you don't have to be in it every day if you don't like traffic, like I don't like traffic. So those were the easy ones, right? The three things I love about Pensacola. Now let's talk about the two things I don't. Every city, every town is going to have something that maybe we don't like, or maybe it's not our favorite thing. I can honestly say I'm not a person that really focuses on things I don't like. So coming up with this list really took me a little bit of time. So, and I kind of flip flop between a few things, but The number two thing that I don't really love about Pensacola is we have a lot of industrial and commercial areas. So when you're driving around our town, you'll go from a beautiful downtown, so let's say downtown neighborhood with all types of different architectural homes and beautiful trees and people walking their dogs, parks, and then you'll drive through an area that maybe isn't so appealing to the eye. We have shipping companies, we have different trucking companies, we have garages, we have all of those things that every big city has. And you kind of get to that part of town, and it's not really my favorite part of town. Now, I can see the beauty in everything. And some of these companies and businesses have been around for years. So, of course, they don't look, spit shined and brand new like a lot of the new development we have. But often when I'm touring people and telling them about our area and we're driving through, I prepare them for that because lots of times people get here and their first thought of Pensacola is, "Oh, I'm going to the beach." And we're not your typical beach town. So I always like to point that out to people. Now, my number one thing that I don't like so much, and hear me out on this, is our growing population of homeless. Now, the reason I don't like this is there's a few things. We, like other cities, have a problem with this. We're a pretty mild climate, so we obviously are going to attract more people that are unhoused because the climate's better for them. What I don't like about it is it causes a lot of mixed emotions in people. And I, for one, believe that the homeless population needs our attention. And I donate to our local homeless shelter. My team and I have volunteered time before in our local homeless shelter, and our homeless shelter is amazing. They offer rehab, they offer education programs, they do rehabilitation to get people off the street if that's what they want to do and back into homes and jobs. So, although I'm not crazy about that part of Pensacola, I love that we have a homeless shelter and a homeless program that really helps rehabilitate these people. The thing that I least like about it is there are certain parts of town that every stoplight you have the folks that are panhandling, and who knows, they may not all be homeless, but they're there with their sign and they're asking for money. And I don't ever give money directly like that. When I'm moved to give money, I give it to the shelter because I know it will go to help more than just one person. So that's the number one thing that I don't like about Pensacola. And I always like to let people know that because it is a part of what makes Pensacola Pensacola. We are a very eclectic small city. And with that, you get all different types of homes, businesses, all different types of people. And that's probably one of the things I love most, honestly, even though I already said it was the beach. But that is my little take on three things and two things about Pensacola. I always like to share that with people. I'd love to know your thoughts, what you love about Pensacola, if you've ever been here, the areas you love. We'll talk a little more in some future videos about different neighborhoods and what types of architecture we have in our area. So if you found value in this, please like and subscribe. I'll keep you updated on what's going on in Pensacola, our market, our area, and just really what it's like to live, work, and play here in Pensacola.